Alright guys, Jameson and Alex here. Today we are talking about the Owlin from the new Strixhaven Curriculum of Chaos book. Our thoughts on it, the changes from Unearthed Arcana, its comparison to other flying races, spoiler alert. We have some thoughts on the whole shenanigans with that. So if you are new to the channel, we are doing a giveaway for the D&D Beyond Players bundles. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to be entered in that. Also, today's video is sponsored by Hit Point Press. Woo. Riffin the Ash Knight calls upon your aid to save Humblewood. With scores of villages lost to the spreading flames, a small but mighty group of heroes is needed to restore balance to the wood. Will you answer the call? Riffin is available now as an adorable plushie. For a limited time, save $10 by bundling this squishable friend with either the Humblewood book or box set. Order before December 19th and use code FREESHIP at checkout to receive free shipping to the US and Canada on orders of $100 or more of in-stock items and to guarantee shipping in time for Christmas. Stay heroic and get yours today at hitpointpress.com/Humblewood. So, all that being said, we'll jump straight into it. Owlin, the single race that we get from this book.
If you do recall, there was not a race in the UA mentioned for other things in this. It actually came from the Fey UA from way back when. And it got left out of the Fey-themed book we got a little while back. Witchlight. Yeah. So it ended up in here. Quick run through of what we actually got for the final thing. Humanoid creature, medium or small. You choose when you select the race. Walking speed of 30 feet. Dark vision at 120 feet.
Yes.
Proficiency in stealth. And finally, of course, flying. You have flying speed equal to your walking speed. You can't use this flying speed while you're wearing medium or heavy armor. Done.
Yep.
That's it.
So, of course, too, since Tasha's and everything, with the pick your stats, that's kind of just the default now. So you pick that as well as normal in the new books. But in the Unearthed Arcana, they actually had additional features that were cut. Mm-hmm. And they also scaled down the flying, which... surprise, surprise, they always do.
Yep.
So in the Unearthed Arcana version, the dark vision was only 90 feet instead of 120, so they gave you a little bit more sight.
Yep.
You're an owl, sure, whatever makes sense.
Yep.
They also had magic sight, which let them detect magic as a ritual, and they could also use a spell slot to cast it normally as well if they wanted to. And then, on top of that, they had Nimble Flight, which gave them the flying speed equal to their walking speed, but they could also use a reaction when falling to make a dex save with a DC of 10 to stop falling and fly in place until the start of their next turn. If you'd noticed as well, there was no limitation about the armor.
Nope.
I don't know why they keep making Unearthed Arcana stuff without limitations when they just end up adding it anyways.
Yeah.
So, if you're not familiar with the other races that can fly, innately, there is the Aarakocra and the recently added Fairy, which was in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight book as well.
Yes.
Both of which have a limitation with their flying speed for not being able to wear medium or heavy armor. The Aarakocra does have a 50-foot flying speed, and their base walking speed is 25. So they have a slightly less walking speed for quite a bit more flying speed.
Significantly more flying speed, yeah.
But even they get a Talon weapon.
Yep.
So they get something. It's nothing crazy. But they get double the flying speed, almost.
But they're not getting dark vision or the stealth proficiency.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a trade-off there.
There is a bit. The other thing too is with the fairy comparison as well, which just came out, is you are a fey creature type, which is unique in and of itself.
Right.
You gain Druidcraft cantrip. Mm-hmm. You can cast Fairy Fire.
Level 1 spell.
And then you can cast Enlarge Reduce. Okay? You can cast them both for free once, and then you can use spell slots to cast them again.
If you can do so, yes.
And then they have flying speed.
Yes.
So, compared to the owl,
we have
a little bit more dark vision.
Yep.
Well, you get dark vision, period.
Yes.
And it's a little bit more.
And it's better than regular. It's double standard dark vision.
And you get your stealth. I just feel like the race options have become so watered down, or I don't know, because I say that, but then they come out with stuff like the shifter, which is so complicated.
Yeah.
There's so much to it.
Well, and think about the Fizzbands update to Dragonborns.
Right.
You have chromatic dragonborns that have all that base dragonborn gets, plus a specific to their sub race of dragonborn. The chromatic get their weapon a little bit different than a different feature. Gem dragonborns, they get a little different feature, and then metallics get a little different feature. It's all different.
Right, and then there's also they gained the option for the, I can't remember which dragonborn it is, but the one that gets the flying temporarily.
Yes,
I think, and then the Aasimar with flying temporarily, where they activate their wings or whatever.
Yes.
So, and I know a lot of people don't care about the flying, and a lot of people that don't care about the flying are players, not DMs, because they don't understand.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier too. That's right.
This the thing is, whenever they I don't know why they keep wanting to add flying to characters. Yeah. It's cool, but it's Dungeons and Dragons. There's spells. Why not? Why do they have to give players things? It basically just defeats the whole purpose of the fly spell.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna say, well, you can cast it on your friends too. Yes, you can. Okay, sure. But
we have hit a sore spot with the DM.
So when it comes to flying, a lot of people say this. Well, if you're the DM, you just adjust and plan differently so that you can adjust for how the characters have flying. Yes, that is true.
But that's a whole lot of extra work.
It is extra work, and it's annoying when you have such a cool puzzle idea or a encounter or something that gets completely negated because one or two or the whole party
can freaking fly.
Has flying innately. And I say innately because it's okay in those circumstances for them to cast a fly spell.
Right.
Because they're trading their resources to be able to get that ability versus having it innately. They don't lose anything. They're not losing hit points for doing that. They're not losing spell slots for doing it. They just have it.
Right, because when it comes to a puzzle, let's say they're trying to figure out a way across a gap. They know they can't jump, but it's not like gargantuan. Maybe they could try to solve a way to fashion a rope bridge grappling hook thing, and they can try it, but they know they can get across by doing a spell. So you're forcing them to either spend time to solve a way to get across a gap, or they force them to use a resource either way to do something with it. And on top of the fact that there's a lot of, especially, and really the big thing to me, emphasis-wise on this, is lower level stuff. Because if you're playing, like in our main campaign, we're all level 14. Yep, most of us has
a way to fly.
Most of us have access to some way to fly. Heaven forbid our little, our small level 20, side campaign we started, where literally everybody but one person has access to flying. But you're level 20 characters.
Yeah, right.
Of course, you're going to have a way to fly at that point. But when you've got a party of 4 level 1s and 3 of them can fly innately from scratch with no limitation to it whatsoever, that's something that I thought we might see with this, especially since the way they did the feats, which we'll cover in obviously in a different video, is seeing something that might scale. So maybe as they're younger in their adventures, they haven't mastered their wings, so maybe they get double their jump speed at level 1.
Or maybe they have early on they have to activate it and only lasts for a minute or something.
Right. Or and level 3 or 4 they would be able to slow fall kind of thing with their wings or glide, and then maybe when they hit 10 they can fly all the time. So it delays their cheesiness.
Another thing too, because I know some of you are probably already typing down below that. Well, it says in the Dungeon Master's book or the Player's Handbook or whatever that adverse, weather conditions or whatever can make it so players can't fly, blah, blah, blah. Yes. That's beside the point, though. The point is having to throw in extra things it's more annoying than it is anything. And yes, you can do that. And I have done that before where there's bad weather and it's like, oh, you can't fly. This is a magic room and there's no flying.
The best encounter we have ever done had nothing to do with combat, but we're in a storm on a boat on an open sea and we're essentially fighting the boat and all the objects flying around.
In that. It was hilarious because they couldn't.
We're
so used to just.
We had 2 NPCs and one of our people unconscious due to objects just flying around.
That was that. I spent some time planning that one out. That was a fun one, and they had no idea what to do because you can't just kill a storm.
No,
right? There's only so much you can do.
No,
and that's
we even had to control weather, and it limited it based. It helped lessen it,
but yeah. So doing stuff like that, you can definitely do that. It's just there's a fine line between if a bunch of the players or a couple of the players, even one of the players has innate flying, and it's just it's just where we are, it's just always windy. You can't fly. It just feels like you're picking on someone.
Right, it does, and it doesn't feel realistic because you're going to go through areas. Maybe you have a region that is known for being tumultuously weather-wise, but if they're walking through a big wooded area for a few days, the chances of it being just uber windy for like 3 or 4 straight days, it's just it's not realistic.
And just one other thing I want to kind of bring up on here too is I feel almost as if when Wizards designs races and stuff now is they have this chart that's behind the scenes that's like dark vision is X number of points and flying is X number of points. They have
a point buy for racial traits.
Like I really feel like they do that because
and flying is worth like 80% of their points.
Yeah, I really feel like that is what it is. Like honestly, because it's like whenever they add flying to something, they're like
they get
we can't do anything else. The fairy, I was actually surprised that they got a couple spells they could cast because that's like major.
Yeah,
it's like wow, they got to do something else besides fly.
Right, and that's something that we had talked about before that if they want to try to do the flying thing like that, you can still give other things that are RP and flavor based if you don't want to give them more stuff in combat. Like even if it's not a skill proficiency, letting them get unique features or things like that, or letting somebody have access to rolling advantage on a history check or something like things. You can find other ways to give them creative things that tie to their race without making them more effective in combat, making it more RP focused. Unless you're running a super heavy RP campaign, really really heavy RP campaign, having a bunch of RP abilities on a race, it's not going to be game breaking to let somebody have like an extra skill proficiency even though they can fly. And
I think the biggest thing to me is it just feels lazy, like lazy game design. Just be like, just give it flying and we'll just print it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, well, it's a bird, therefore it can automatically fly at level 1.
I know again too. I have to keep throwing in these little asterisks because I know I can already feel like the comments down below. It's just fine, and it's fine. Sometimes we're just gonna say that we don't like something. And you disagree, and that's fine.
It's fine.
That's really fine, but we're
it's
right.
Fine.
Oh, gosh. But yes.
What an absolute dumpster fire that makes.
Yeah, the limitation for the armor does make a difference.
Yes, it does.
It really does.
Because it really limits you to you're gonna have to play a caster or like a rogue with this. You can't be barbarian. Like we could be barbarian.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I be barbarian now.
Yeah, you think it doesn't
My
matter,
bad.
but then you're like, oh, wait till the barbarian has flying. They don't care about their armor.
Yep.
So yeah, that's one
no fighters, paladins,
wrench in the
clerics
in the game there.
Yeah. But barbarian out, yes.
Yeah,
that's happening.
I mean, I don't know. Just I feel like there should be more variety. And like Alex says a lot, whenever they introduce something new, it feels like it should be unique or different or new. And this definitely does not feel that way.
My point I like to make. Dang.
So yes.
Yeah. Each time you put new stuff in there,
not a huge fan. So this is basically just us ranting about how sad and pathetic this the effort. F for effort.
Yes.
I feel like it's really lazy.
F for effort.
Yeah. I mean, they do get direct vision, which can be helpful.
And just like I said in our overview video, that artwork is great. Like, if you look at them Alkin in there, they look vicious with throwing this magic, and they got these razor sharp claws. It was like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the owl spirit there in the underground library. It makes me think of that guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you like that? But can't think of what his name is off the top of my head. Yeah. No brownie point for me there. But
I think that's probably a good place to cut it short because all we're going to do is just keep ranting about the same things we've already said. So we'll keep it short. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You are top tier.
Give us a reason we should be a little bit more excited about it, and we'll be happy to read it.
Of course. As always, comments and stuff down below. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. Make sure you check out our sponsors, Hit Point Press. Stay heroic and get yours today at hitpointpress.com/humblewood. That's it for today, guys. As always, thanks for watching.